Kia in Camden, the Greville House, which was built about the 14th century, believe it or not, by a wealthy wool merchant. There's a lot of money made from wool in Chipton, Camden. This is farther down. That's the Stewart House, the antique shop. An old market house. And we had a lovely gentleman offer to take our picture together. Memorial to the dead from the town from World War I. A full English breakfast. Big English breakfast, Buddies. It's the sign for the Cotswolds. High Street, it just goes on in a curve. Way to the Cotswolds. Walk. Old Town Hall with the Heart of England way one way, the Cotswolds way the other way. We just mailed our postcard. Won't leave till Tuesday, being a bank holiday this weekend. There's some more of the chipping game, of course. I'm thinking this is St. James. It's on a hill. 1684. 1694, lived to 83. Very impressive exterior. It's the Church of St. James. There's wind vanes on top. That's an interesting name town. A tower in these lovely fields. Peter's Farm. All these beautiful sheep. The Cotswolds. The Broadway Tower. It's a folly. It is the highest castle in the Cotswolds. The folly. Pit looks like an old mining pit. Least picturesque thing I've seen. Quite a few deer in the herd here. And a view of Buckley. Water from the living rock, Russell Spring, God's precious gift to man. So it is. Stowe on the Woe. It's been here, well, since the 1086 when it was Edward Stowe. The highest of all the towns, buddy. Good town hall from another view. Town started about the year 1000. It's been a market town. Marker for the Battle of Stowe. And 200 Royalists were slaughtered in the square. It's the final battle of the Civil War from March 21st, 1646. That marks the battle. Another Stewart House. This is England's oldest inn from the year 947 AD. Well, they might have improved it somewhat since then. The Porch House. This is the highest town, so we are going uphill.
So how do you like the Cotswolds?
Oh yeah, it's very nice. Very country.
Easy to get around in?
Yes, it is. Yeah. One curvy road.
Eventually you get...
It's the mustard fields we've been looking for. It's the inn where we're staying, the Hollow Bottom in Gilton Power. There's Sudeley Castle. It's famous because Catherine Parr, the widow of Henry VIII, came here with her lover, Thomas Seymour, and a child was born. She died shortly after Catherine Parr died, and she's buried in the church here, the only Queen of England so buried. King Henry granted Thomas Seymour the abbey, and he used them for an underground waterway in Sudeley Castle. Here's where they kept the hunting dogs. There are the kennels right by these hills. And they found 2 Roman villas on the Sudeley estate. And they plowed the fields for the first time in the 19th century. This mosaics from the villa. The Richard III banqueting rooms. People dressed in Victorian ways. Henry VIII and other kings were here. Amazingly, this is not a real baby. That's the banqueting hall. The Queen's Garden has double yew hedges. Honors 3 queens, Catherine Parr, Elizabeth I, and Lady Jane Grey. Those are yew hedges. Yeah, but they've really kept them trimmed.
You gotta stay on top of those. Do it like every...
Here's St. Mary's Chapel where the Queen, Catherine Parr, is buried. This was built in 1460. That's where Catherine Parr was buried. She died 7 days after it was rediscovered. Her body was perfectly preserved. That was in 1782. Here lies Catherine Parr, the Queen of England. Coffin with her dust in it in this tomb built by the Dents for her in April. This was all rebuilt in the 1800s. It had been left to ruins, so the Dent family rebuilt it. There's a peacock in the hedge. I was going to cut through that way, and I saw these beautiful birds come out. So we just let it have the right of way. So I don't think they show their tail feathers unless they're in the Richard III's time. Sudeley was seized by the crown and given by Edward IV to his brother Richard in 1469 when he was Duke of Gloucester. When Richard ascended the throne in 1483, Sudeley became his property again. They built these apartments during this castle was slighted, which means it was torn down during the English Civil War by Oliver Cromwell's orders in 1649. So 1649 became a ruin. The state apartments have never been restored. And there's cannon fire holes. Contains 1,200 box plants. And the design is from a dress worn by Queen Elizabeth in the painting The Tudor Succession. Knot gardens originated in Persia. And that's the centerpiece. This was popular in the 16th century to have such a garden. Elizabeth I would have received people during her visits to Sudeley. It's a sculpture of her. Actually, they had the private apartments open, so they had some nice artifacts in there. This is a 19th century cedar of Lebanon tree. It is big. We go into the secret garden. And we found out they do have quite a few gardens here. Another pheasant, also from the Far East. Hang a peony around your neck, it'll cure fallen sickness. Who knew? Times. It's the town of Stanton. So just like my cousin's name, Stanton. Cotswolds. Yeah, this is the mountain. You can actually drive up. View of the Cotswolds. Let's turned out to be a nice sunny day from the Mount Inn in Stanton, England. More of a close-up. Some hills and fields. These are the Cotswolds, on what the highest point, which is probably about as high as Kentucky, but it's high for the Cotswolds. It's our version of a closer view of the hills. Mustard field is the yellow part over there. You can walk all over this countryside. And day walks or multi-day walks. The farms let you walk here. It's a room at the new hotel and spa, and it is an old manor house. It's really a nice big room,
That's fine.
especially for the price, and has a pool and a spa.
Ambiance.
And tonight, a teddy bear. This is actually a castle from 15th. Yeah, 19th is on the right, and 16th. And then there's a moat. Look at the moat in the 13th century section. Manor house with which was built on through the centuries, starting in the 13th century, 15th, 16th, and then later on 19th. The few manor houses where they still have a moat, and there's a moat. We're not in the moated part. This is another pond, and it's a spa and pool complex. This is the Great Chamber.
Like that place in India we ate at.
It's very old. It's where they used to have all their big events. And we have a beautiful sunny day this bank holiday Monday. Gonna take off and drive toward the Peaks District.